Hello, everyone, and thank you. Hold on, let me move this around just a little bit. Thank you for coming and tuning in to my live broadcast. I will be walking you guys through several different things today. Hold on a second. I want to make sure that we're at the highest definition. High definition. I'm actually going to be walking you guys through a few things today. I'm going to be showing you this wood piece that I'm working on, and I'm also going to be doing a demonstration on another wood piece that I'm doing, that is called the Take Me to the King piece, and then I'm going to show you guys the vibe piece. This is my show where you can purchase artwork. You can purchase artwork from my studio live. I'll be doing short shows, not like hour long, but this one might take a little bit because I'm going to do a demonstration as well. And I will be selling my original work on this show, so you are welcome to purchase any of my original work. I'll be doing different segments on each show. So this show, I'm going to actually show you some of the wood pieces I'm working on and what I'm doing. So we will be doing, we're going to be working on Take Me to the King, which is a wood piece here, this piece here. We'll be working on that. And in the back, you see another wood piece that's called Vibe, which is a piece that I completed. It's a wood piece that I completed. So we'll be working on the Take Me to the King piece today. And I'll also be showing you the Vibe piece, which is for sale, and you can purchase the Vibe piece. So you can make comments. I love to see your comments, so you can make comments, and I love to answer any questions that you may have. So just let me know. And we're going to go over, and oh, here I can actually show you the Vibe piece. This is the Vibe piece here. So you can see it's a pretty amazing piece. Let's switch it over so you can get another look at it. And then down lower, you can see I have a couple of pieces of wood that I'm going to be working on. That's another side of that's another area in my studio. So we will be working on the Take Me to the King piece. And then I'll also show you guys the Vibe piece as well. So we're going to head over to where the Take Me to the King piece is, and we're going to do some work on that. And then I will show you the Vibe piece. And if you have any questions, let me know, because I would love to answer some questions for you. So if you have questions, just let me know and I can answer those questions for you. Okay, so we're going to head over to where the Take Me to the King piece is, and then I'm going to go ahead and come out of here, and then I'm going to head over to the Take Me to the King piece, and I'll meet you guys over to the Take Me to Can you guys hear me now? How about that? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, so maybe you can hear me now. Probably hear me a little better now. I'm not getting response, so I'm not sure. Yes, okay, so you can hear me now. Well, that's good. All right, how's the sound quality? Is the sound quality pretty good? I hope so. I hope the sound quality is pretty good. So over here, we'll be working on the crown, Take Me to the King. And I have some tea. This is actually a cleansing tea. I'm drinking a cleansing tea right now. I'm going through a season of cleansing. So that's a cleansing tea that I'm drinking. It is not dandelion roots, not dandelion roots. This is a different. It's not from Tivana. It's from traditional, and it's a municipal. It's a municipal tea. So it's not the dandelion roots. It's I'll have to look it up. I can't remember what the name is, but it's always nice to do a body cleansing because there's just so much stuff in the air, and there's so many things that we ingest, and it has so much processed stuff in it. So it's always nice to do a little bit of body cleansing. This is a great time of year to do body cleansing. January, fantastic time of year to do body cleansing. I always try to do some form of body cleansing in January, whether it's a Daniel fast or something like that, where I'm fasting and just releasing all of these toxins and all of this unnecessary stuff out of my body. So it's always nice to do a nice little cleansing here and there. And this right here is a tea, and you can drink this kind of tea anytime, and water, drinking water. So just kind of flush your system out. So that's what I'm having. I'm having a nice cleansing tea. What did you say? It's so just so you know. So we're gonna actually be working on the crown piece that I have right here called "Take Me to the King," and this is a wooden piece. And if you had seen earlier, I was working on this at the beginning of the year, and then the whole, I was working on Beauty of Likeness Fine Art Show, which is a show that I produce, and it kind of took me away from this. But now I'm revisiting the crown, Take Me to the King, and what this is actually a piece of wood that I'm repurposing. I actually found this out near the creek near my house, and I just fell in love with it, and it's just pretty amazing. I like doing this. It's a pretty amazing piece of wood. And so what I did was I brought it home and I dried it out and I resined it. I put a really nice resin on it. You can see that's where the shine is. The sheen is coming from. That shine is coming from the resin that I put on. So it's got a nice resin on it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some more because it's a crown. I want to add some purples and some reds and some blue, and all of those colors are going to be pretty symbolic. And I'm also adding some gold metal leaf. And if anybody knows, if you know me, my art, I love adding metal leaf to my artwork. So we'll be adding some metal leaf to this piece called Take Me to the King. And so I'm going to remove this. I'm going to put that over there, kind of out of our way, not knock over these pieces of wood that I have here. I use those pieces of wood when I'm doing resin, when I'm pouring resin. But I'm not going to put resin on it today because we're going to be working with the gold leaf today. And we're going to be working with some of these really cool paint colors that I have here. I use when I paint, I use something called the liquid acrylic. And so it has a feel of ink, an ink-like surface. But I also have regular acrylic as well. So we'll be using some of that because I like this red. I like this red. It's a really deep, rich red because this piece is actually, it's called Take Me to the King, and it's actually symbolic of Christ and looking at him as the king. So what I did to prepare before you guys came, I actually added some size for the metal leaf because it takes the size a few minutes to become tacky. which is what's happening right here. You can see my fingers. It's kind of tacky, so it takes a few minutes for it to become tacky. So I did add some size already on it, just to show you, and then I'll be adding some more sizes to different areas, because one of the things I was looking at is, where do I want to add size and where do I want to add color? Because I want to add color, but I also wanted to add some size. And don't be afraid to do pieces like this and make little mistakes and all that kind of stuff, because I tell you, when I make little mistakes, I just go back in and change my little mistakes and fix them. And you might say, well, it'd be hard on something like this, and you're right, it might be a little difficult, but don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to try something different or new when you're doing things like this. I just loved it when I found this piece. I just absolutely loved it. So I'm going to be adding color, and then I'll be telling you why I'm adding those particular colors, because I picked particular colors because they're significant. And in doing this piece, I picked certain colors that I wanted to add to this piece. But you can see how beautiful this piece is. So I'm going to bring this back because I'm going to add the metal leaf, and I want you to be able to see where I'm going to add the metal leaf and how I'm going to go about adding it. So I'm going to bring it a little closer for you to see. So if you look at this piece, one of the things I had to do is I had to look at it and examine it as to where I wanted to add color, because I didn't want to just put color anywhere, and I didn't want to just put metal leaf anywhere. And so one of the things that I noticed was this nice piece sitting up right here. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, I definitely want to add some metal leaf right in here. So that's where we're going to add it. And then there's some other little spots over here that I want to add metal leaf to, and then right in here. So I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to go through adding some metal leaf. And I actually, in this particular piece, I'm going to add the 23 karat gold. I'm not going to add the Dutch metal. I'm going to add an actual 23 karat gold to this particular piece, because I want this piece to have a 23 karat gold feel to it, because that, for me, that's honoring this piece. And so I'm going to grab over here. And 23 karat gold tends to come in, that's what this is. That's a 23, I don't know if you can see it. There we go. It's 23 karat gold. And this is actually a 23 karat gold. It's a real gold. I thought I had one open, but I'm going to go ahead and open this one, even though I'm pretty sure I have one open, because I use this on my paintings as well. I use the 23 karat gold on my paintings. I should have some scissors. At least I thought I had some scissors here. I have a pair of scissors. Oh, hold on. They're right over here. Let me grab those. And I thought I had a pair of scissors right here, but obviously my scissors disappeared. So, while I'm away, I'm going to grab something else that I neglected to grab. I'm going to grab one of these right here. I'm coming around from the back of my studio. So I'm just going to grab a couple of these because I want to use those. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut this open. I would have done it with my teeth, but that's a no-no, because your teeth are not tools. Your teeth are not tools. We teach that to kids all the time. Your teeth are not tools, because you can use your teeth as tools by ripping things open. So we're going to take some of the 23 karat gold out, and I'll show you what that looks like. So you can see it comes on these little sheets like that. It comes flat, and we're going to lift up, and then you can see, let's see, actually that's two. I have two here, so I'm going to put one down, but two separate packs of 23 karat gold. So I'm going to lift up so you can see, what it looks like. So we're going to bring that up. I'm going to take that back like that, and then we're going to bring it up again. We're going to bring another one up so you can have a look at it. And that's, look at that. It's 23 karat gold and it's very delicate. It's very delicate. So I want to bring that up for you to see it. Um, it's very delicate. It blows in the wind. I remember when I was doing one piece, I was doing the Mother's Love piece, and I had it on my hands, and it just floated away, floated away. And I'm like, no. So these pieces are very, very delicate, and that's one of the reasons I went over. Now I have what is called a gilding brush, but I'm going to use this right here. I have a gilding brush, and a gilding brush is similar to this, but flatter. It's a flat brush. And so what I'm going to do is, and I forgot to bring my cutter over here, because what I tend to do is I tend to cut when I'm working with this. I tend to cut it. So I'm just going to cut along right here. I'm just going to make a little line cut. I'm going to do it across several of them, and I'm going to show you there. So look at that. Look, stuck in my finger. So I need little line cuts in it so that I can get it in strips. And don't do this. I normally use an X-Acto blade, but I did the knife. I did it with this knife. It's not. It wouldn't be something I would use on a regular when I'm working on my painting pieces. I do not use scissors. I use a knife. So, and what I'm going to do is, I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to bring it up a little closer. You see that piece on there? Because you want to use a small brush. You want to use a haired brush like this because it picks it up very nicely. You see that? And then all I'm going to do is, you see, is almost blew off. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to put it right there on there. There we go. There we go. And I'm going to do it again. So I'm going to take another piece of it, and I'm going to bring it over here, and I'll put it right here. So you can see that. So I'm going to put it right there, and then I'm just going to continue. Since I've made them into slices, there's a little piece right there. And take that little piece and put it in over here. And I'm trying not to get too much size on my brush because I actually use this brush for something else. It's not my size brush. I'm going to take my scissors again. Once again, don't try this at home. Use an X-Acto blade. It's sharper. Scissors are not sharp when it comes to cutting metal weave. But I've done this enough to know how to cut it because I want to cut it in smaller squares so I don't have to pick it up that way. So now I'm going to pick this piece up. Let me grab it. So I'm going to pick this other piece up right here. And you can see it's doing whatever it wants and wanting to stay on my finger like that. I'm going to catch it. I'm going to catch it and put it back on there. And then we're going to add another piece here. So I'm going to add there. And I'm going to touch it because I'm not, it's like I put size on it, but I want to make sure that I'm putting this down on all the areas that I have size on. So I'm going to bring this other piece up, and I broke this off a little bit, which I didn't want to do because I don't want to lose any of it. So I'm going to touch it some more to see, because I want to know where I have the size. And you can see how that's coming along. I really like the way that's coming along. I'm going to add another piece. And now, mind you, when I do this on, when I use size, and you can use your fingers, you just have to make sure that your hands are not moist. You don't want moist fingers because it will stick to your moist finger and it'll be hard to get off. So, like I said, you don't want your fingers to be moist when you do this, because look at my fingernail. Because then you have a hard time trying to get it off your fingertips. And trust me, you do not want to be struggling trying to get your 23 karat gold off your fingertips. I'm going to take that little piece because now I just need smaller pieces because this portion is almost done. But I still have to use my brush to lift because you can't just, it's flat onto the paper. So it's very hard to just lift it up. Um, so right now what I'm doing is I'm touching different areas to make sure that I've covered all of those areas with um, the metal leaf. So I got a little sticky spot right here, but I know I don't need this whole piece, so I'm gonna take a part off of that whole piece, hold it in my fingers, and drop it, after you tell me drop that. I'm gonna feel right there because I wanted to go there. So there we go. So all of that is covered. And now I'm going to fill up here because I have some spots right up here. I can fill them. That'll take this bigger piece. And I'm going to fill around. And so I know I don't need all of it. So I'm going to take a little part from right there. And then I'm going to put it right there. And so there we go. So there you go. So I added the metal leaf to that. Can you see that? I want to bring it up close so you can see the metal because I know the light is like reflecting off of that metal. You see that? So that's some of the metal leaf. Now there's other areas that I'm also going to be adding metal leaf that's here. There's some of these I'm going to add metal leaf to too as well. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to add some of that. And I'm going to use my hands now because these are smaller areas. And I'm just going to put it on there like that. So there we go. I'm really, I just can't wait to see this piece complete. This is going to be this is a fun piece to do. And I've got it stuck to my fingers now. So I'm going to remove that. And that's the whole thing about this is it will close onto itself. So that's the other reason you want to be careful with it. You'll end up wasting your metal leaf because it will collapse onto itself as well. So I'm going to put this over here because I want to, what I'm trying to do is like just put metal leaf in this sort of different areas to make it sort of moving around and not just one spot. I want there to be little metal leaf kind of dancing throughout this whole piece in different spots. And that's basically what I'm looking at doing. And that's why I'm doing it. So now I'm just going to do it with my fingers because these are all places that I've put size on. Stuck to my foot. I have a metal leaf fingernail. And so these are all places I've already sized. So that's why I'm adding the metal leaf to these places because they're places I've already sized. And even over here, I've sized some places over here. So I'm going to add some metal leaf over here as well. So as you can see those, these are places I've already sized and I have metal leaf on them. But I'm going to show you another area that I'm going to metal leaf because I want to. And so what I do is I use, the size I use is I get it from a place that sells gold and metal leaf, the 23 karat gold. And this is actually a size that you would use on, this is like a size that you would use on metals and things like that. It's not this is a oil-based size as opposed to a water-based size. And this one is this is it's thicker than your usual size. And so I use this size. Well, actually, this is actually, no, this isn't a water-based, this is this is a water-based size. And I can use it on this, but I also use an oil-based size when I do my metals. This one is a water-based size, but I use two. I use a water-based size and I use an oil-based size. But size, it doesn't matter if it's water-based or oil-based. It is hard to get out of your brushes, so definitely use cheap brushes.
Use cheap brushes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in, and I recycle my brushes. Like this brush, I've probably had this brush for a while. And you see some of the hairs are gone out of it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, because you see this piece sticking up right here. I want to make that gold. So I'm gonna paint some size on it. I'm gonna do size on this piece right here. So, and all I'm doing is taking the size and using it just like paint. I'm just gonna go up and down. You see that on that piece, and that's the only piece back here that I'm going to do size on. And so, and like I said, it'll take a few minutes for this size to become tacky. It's not like a glue where it dries. A size actually it becomes tacky, and then you use it, and then you adhere the metal leaf to it. So there we go. So there we are. And this is like my size. It comes in a metal can, and I take it out of that. I take it out of the metal can and I put it in this, because this is a little more airtight. It's not all airtight, as you can see. Look at my size; it's dried, but it's a little more airtight. So I like to find these little Tupperware containers at like Goodwill and things like that, and then I can put them in little Tupperware containers, and then it's semi or mostly airtight, and my size actually lasts a lot longer than keeping it in the metal cans, because the metal cans, it doesn't last as long in metal cans. And also, when I do this, when I do metal leaf on paper or things like that, I also put down a red base coat, because it makes the color pop, and it helps with adhering the size. When I first started doing this, I was doing this on watercolor paper, and nope, because I wasn't putting down the base coat. But now I put down the base coat, and it works out perfectly. We're gonna go ahead and finish. I'm gonna go ahead and finish putting the metal leaf down on this. So we're gonna get another sheet, because that sheet's all done. So we're gonna get another sheet of metal leaf, and I'm just gonna roll this up so that we can get another sheet. And we want to get it without bending it, so I'm going to pull the page. I'm trying to pull one page, and I'm getting 2 pages. So there we go. Now we have another page, and I had size on my finger, so it immediately attracted metal leaf, because I still have, my fingers are a little stiff from the first size. So once again, my trusty scissors I'm going to use, and I'm just going to cut across. I'm not cutting across quickly, because that's just a great way to tear up your metal leaf, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just cutting across semi quickly, and I'm going to do a couple of these. Just do a couple, because I'm just needing them in smaller pieces, but I don't want to do too many, because it'll just drag it down. So once again, I'm going to grab this brush, because it's sticking to my fingers quite a bit. So I'm going to grab this brush. My size brush is a little different and easier to use. So I'm going to take it, and I'm going to put it on here where I know I have size. I'm going to grab another one, because as you can see, I cut them into squares now, so I can handle them a little better for this part, because this part is just smaller pieces. So I'm going to go through and see. I didn't have any size right there, so let me feel and make sure I'm not wasting. Okay, I have size right there. Make sure I'm not wasting, because you can see it just disintegrated that piece. So I want to make sure I have size wherever I'm putting it, because if you don't, it'll just disintegrate this metal leaf. If you don't have size where if you don't have size right there and you hit it on there, it's just gonna poof, done. So, but I can kind of see where I have size, because it's a little shinier. in the areas where there is size. Here's some more size over here. Let me feel over here. I'm just going to go across some of these. That just blew where I didn't want it. Blew where I didn't want it. So let's get this piece. It's a big piece right there, but I know I have a somewhat of a large area right here. I'm going to pick this up and put it over here. I have somewhat of a large area right there. So can you see that? I'll bring it over. Look at that. I'm really loving this. I'm loving this coverage with the metal leaf. And like I said, in this piece, I'm using a 23 karat gold. So I'm going to fill it again to see where I might have missed some. And I can feel here that I've missed the area. So I'm going to take this piece right here because I can feel I've missed an area up here. So I'm going to fill again. And I can tell I can tell when I've missed an area because I can feel it. So I'm going to go up with my finger now because I've missed a spot. So I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to actually put those in places that I've missed spots because then I can be a little more direct. I can be a little more direct with the placement of the metal. There's some at the top there. I have a top right here that I want to put some metal leaf. And I'm feeling around for anything. I'm feeling around. So I'm feeling around it for any spaces. I can feel right here is tacky. Right in there is tacky. But I think that's pretty much it. I have a loose piece over here, which tells me this spot did not have metal leaf on it. So I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to pull that loose piece out and go over here, right in here. There we go. There we go. So now that I have all of these covered, and I really like the way that look, I like that. So now that I have all these covered, and I'm going to feel around, make sure that I didn't miss a spot that I put size on. I can feel right there. There's a little bit because I'm trying to make sure I have all the spaces that I put size on covered. So now that I have that done, I'm going to close this up because I don't want, because any air will blow this stuff, blow this just far, far away. So I'm going to go ahead and close that up. And I'm going to sit this over here because I don't want that. And then I'm going to take, normally I have like a little varnishing brush, but I'm just going to use this for right now. And I'm just going to wipe away I'm just going to brush off all of the excess gold that I don't need. I don't know if you can see it falling off, but I'm going to brush away all the excess gold that's not needed on here. Because once I do when I add the other layer of resin, I don't want any excess gold on it. So I will be blowing this, I'll blow all of that excess gold off. I'll use an air pressure sprayer, in a can. I'll use it in a can, air pressure sprayer in a can. I'll use that to blow off all of this before I put any more resin on it. So there we go. So there you go. So that's the gold metal leaf on it. I really like the way that turned out. And you guys can ask questions or make comments. I love to hear that. I'm going to more than likely do more metal leaf around here because I like this little area, so I'll do more metal leaf around there. I'm going to add some paint to this. And remember this area right here, we're going to metal leaf that area too, but we have to let that get dry, a little more dry, a little drier, a little more dry. It doesn't make any sense. So we'll be adding some more to that. And then I'll be adding some metal leaf there too. And so we're gonna add some paint color. And one of the paint colors that I'm going to actually add, and that's the last thing we'll do today, is we're going to add a little bit of paint color to this. And that'll be the last thing I'm going to do today. And then I'm going to walk you over, because I want to show you this really neat piece that we have over here, which is one of my other wooden pieces. And that wooden piece is actually for sale. So one of the things I wanted to do with this is I wanted to represent Christ the King of Glory, and that's why the piece is called "Take Me to the King." And one of the things that Christ did for us is sacrifice His life, and so this particular piece, I'm going to be adding some of the purple, which shows His royalty, and the washing of the water with the Word, which is the blue that deals with the washing, and we're going to add some red, which signifies His blood and His death. So those are some of the colors that we're going to be adding to this particular piece. So the first color that I want to add is actually the red. I wanted to add the red color to the piece. And these are my brushes. You can see I put my brushes, see if that's my brushes, I put them on a little thingy. I find all kinds of things at Goodwill that I really, really love. And so what I want to do is I want my water, I want my color, and I like using from the actual paint color. So what I really want is I want my paint color to kind of run to symbolize that whole running, the blood and all that kind of stuff. So actually I'm going to use a bigger brush. I forgot to bring a napkin over. So I'm actually going to use this brush because I like this brush. It's similar to a watercolor brush, but not white. And you can see it. You can see it. So, but it is a water medium brush. I'll put it that way. It's a water medium brush, which means that it's a brush for water mediums and not for oil paint. So you can use it with acrylic or you can use it with watercolor. So I'm going to go with this, and I wanted to start here with this color. So I'm going to actually just come here and bring this color here. And I'm just going to let it do whatever it wants. And I'm going to add some more water to it. And I'm going to keep adding water to it until it begins to run down. Until it begins to run down this particular part of the piece. So I'm just going to add water to it until it runs down. And you can see it starting. Because that's what I want. There we go. See, now it's starting to run down. And I'm going to add a little more color. I'm just going to keep adding water to it. And I'm just going to let it run down. And just let it run all the way down like that. So that's what, so I'm just letting that one strand of water and color run down. And that runs, it's running all the way down to the bottom of that piece. And actually, and it's, I could see where it's dripping onto the mat, and that's basically what I wanted to do. I just want that one strand of color running down on that piece, and that was it. That's the red. That's the red that I wanted to add, and that's all. That's the only red that I'm going to add to this piece. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Like I said, if you have some questions, let me know. I'm going to move this over. I will still be working on this piece. I'll continue to work on this piece. and I will definitely let you guys know what I'm doing with that. I want to show you now. I'm gonna show you this other piece that I've been working on, and I'm actually done with it. And this particular piece is called Vibe, and this piece is also done. Here, I'm gonna bring Vibe up. Hold on. I need my glasses because I'm working on a smaller screen here. So let's see. There we go. So here we are. We're at Vibe. This is the piece that's called Vibe. And this piece, I'm going to bring you over with my smaller camera so you guys can see what this piece is. This particular piece right here is called Vibe. And as you can see, I used resin on it. I used acrylic and metal leaf on it. There's several things I've used with this piece. There's acrylic, there's metal leaf. You can see right in here, there's resin. There's resin right in here. You can see the resin. All of that resin, really nice resin. And then in here, you can see I've used metal leaf. This is a silver, a sterling silver. Um, and then you can see I've used silver and I've used some gold. But this particular piece is called Vibe, and I'm just going to take you down the whole piece. Take you down that whole piece. And you can see there's some more resin. I did some more resin in it. And this is a pretty amazing piece. I love this little, like, take it over here. You can see that tiny little face in there. But this piece is called Vibe. And this can be a wall piece. You can use it as a wall piece. You can sit this piece in a corner and just let it sit in the corner, which is really nice. You can hang it on your wall. You can put it up on an easel. You can even put it sideways if you want to. It can be a horizontal or vertical piece. As you can see how right in here, it could be a horizontal or a vertical piece. It's totally up to the individual that wants to. These are pieces that I have not done yet. These are pieces that are going to be done. So this can be done. This can be either a horizontal or vertical. You can put it on your wall, or you can put it, or you can sit it in a corner. And this piece is called Vibe. Vibe. So this piece is not on my website. This is a piece you can actually buy here from me in the studio. You can inbox me for more information and more details as far as the size, the height, the weight. You can inbox me for more details on this particular piece. And once again, this piece is called Vibe, and if you're interested in this piece, you can inbox me. So, thank you. All right, so that's Vibe. We're going to go ahead and finish up that one. Go ahead and finish that up and take you out of that screen. So we'll come back over here. I'll come back over here.
There we go.
There we go. Hold on a second. Come back over here.
And turn that on. Thanks, LaShawn. Like I said, you can go back and check out some of the other stuff that I did. You can check out the vibe piece that I just put up. Also, you can go back and see the other work that I did on the Take Me to the King. The when I was putting on the metal leaf, I added some metal leaf. I also added some red color. So go back and check that out. Check out what I did with that particular piece and let me know what your thoughts are. Also, I was showing you the one of my latest pieces called The Vibe. If you're interested in that piece, you can inbox me and find out what the weight, the height, the width, all of that information and the shipping information as well as price. I would love to share that with you about that particular piece. So inbox me, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. I will be doing more and more of these in this in this way. I'll be talking about some of my my bronze pieces as well as some of my paintings. I'll be walking you through a demo and then letting you know what's available for sale at Louise Cutler Studios. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really enjoyed it. And I will talk to you guys later. Can you still not hear me? Can you hear me at all? Is my sound still down, LaShawn? Well, I hope you guys can hear me out there. LaShawn said no sound, but I'm hoping you guys can hear me. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Okay, so thank you guys for tuning in. And I am so, oh, did you say no? Is it yes or no? I'm talking to my friend LaShawn, who's an amazing artist. And he comes and critiques me, which is great. And he gives me all of his insight as to how I'm doing. So I will see you guys at the next one. And you can always look for my posts. They'll always come up as a broadcast and they'll always come up to let you know what time I'm going to be on. I know I was doing Thursdays, but right now I'm kind of playing around with some stuff and dates. So just kind of be on the lookout for when you see a broadcast pop up and just join me because I would love to have you. So thanks a lot. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye. And I will sit here smiling